Good morning, peeps. We are back at it again with another video. If you're here for the first time, my name is Kel, aka Collection Closet. I'm a full-time reseller. Resell on platforms like Whatnot and eBay. We've sold over $1 million worth of business just in the past 3 years doing this full-time. Sold almost 100,000 items on Whatnot alone. And as you see today, we are here out at the Goodwill bins. We are currently waiting on the next rotation. However, I've had this thought, or this question's been asked that's been brewing on it. And the question was essentially, if I were to restart reselling clothing right now in 2025, how would I go about it, or how would I start? And that's a really good question. It's something I've been thinking about a lot lately, especially with a lot of new development, new apps coming out. And essentially, what I would do if I was restarting reselling right now in 2025 is I would utilize two of the platforms, which would be Whatnot and eBay. Now, and the reason being is with Whatnot, we would end up using that as the cash flow cow for the business to keep cash flow coming in. And then for eBay, we'd use that as kind of like a background platform to slowly grow and basically use that as a compound of free inventory. So exactly what I mean by that is, first and foremost, you got to figure out where would you source your inventory from. And personally, for the blueprint I would do if I was starting out all over again is right here at the Goodwill bins. I mean, it's just the best place, in my personal opinion, to get inventory if you're starting out, especially because you're gonna have the lowest cost for items typically, as well as it's a one-stop shop where you can go and you can get an abundant amount of inventory, and they have new inventory flowing in all throughout the day, 7 days a week. It's a one-stop shop. You don't have to drive everywhere. You don't have to go miles to a billion different thrift stores. You go to one spot, sit there all day long from open to close, or I should say whenever they start rotations to whenever they stop new rotations, and get an abundant amount of inventory of brands that are commonly found in your area, which is a big key, a big part if you want a successful Whatnot business, because obviously if you want to keep repeat buyers wanting the same repeat brands, you're going to want to find those brands in abundance and as often as you possibly can, which is what the bins provides that. So going back to what I mean by Whatnot would be our cash flow cow, is Whatnot is amazing because not only can you do high volume in one day, in 1 hour, in 2 hours, in a couple hours through the Whatnot app, not only that, it's after I believe 1,000 sales, you get immediate payout. So essentially you could do a sale today, you could find items today, do the sale today, and essentially get cashed out for that sale that same day. The reason why that's important for a brand new business is you want to keep that cash flow going. So the blueprint, what we would do is we would get 200 items per day from the bins, and then the top 10% of the items we would put over for our eBay. So, and that could be 10% out of the 200, but we're going to just add that 10% above 200. So let's say you get 220 items a day from Goodwill. Again, 200 of those items are just your regular everyday, bread and butter stuff. Top 10% of the items you find would be going to eBay. So you get 220 items total, 200 for Whatnot, 20 for eBay. And what we'd be looking for is just an average sale cost. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. People want to try to do these crazy numbers, get 20, 30, 50, average sale price on Whatnot. That's not going to happen. Whatnot is the fast nickel over the slow dime. You're not going to get full value for your items on Whatnot, but Whatnot's not meant for that. Whatnot is meant for high velocity sales. So we would do 200 items running through our Whatnot at just a $5 average sale price. That's not hard at all. $5 average sale price. We're not asking for an extraordinary number, just $5 per item. There's so many brands out there that are worth at least $5 per item trying to sell them on Whatnot. Very common brands, Nike, Under Armour, Victoria's Secret. There's just a bunch of different brands you could do that can go for a $5 average sale price on the Whatnot app. So if you do the math there, you would need less than $300 to do this entire thing. $300, that's all it would cost. $300 to build a multiple six-figure Whatnot business. And how you would do this? 200 items a day on Whatnot, $5 average sale price. Whatnot fees, to understand this, you need to understand the Whatnot fees. Whatnot fees is roughly between the commission and the transaction fee. It's about 10.9% plus 30 cents for every transaction. So for a $5 sale on Whatnot after fees is about $4.15. Now, we personally pick up hundreds of items every single day from the Goodwill bins, and through all the different items that we buy every single kind of item: jackets, pants, shorts, t-shirts, everything, you name it. The great mixture. And right now our bins, it's $1.99 a pound. So at $1.99 a pound, our average per item cost is about $1.30. So if you're buying 220 items every single day, 200 for Whatnot, 20 for eBay, that is less than $300 you will need to get all of those items. And then looking back at our the blueprint, selling 200 items at $5 average sale price is $1,000. After fees, after cost of goods, you're netting about $500 each time you do that. $500 each time you do that. But not only that, so not only did you only spend $300 the entire day for all the inventory, you're gonna net, not gross, you're gonna net an additional $500 doing that show at a $5 average sale price. But don't forget, you have the top 20% of the items that you found that you stored away for eBay to get full value for. Full value. And guess what? Essentially everything on your eBay is all free inventory. Because if you look at it, that day, you went and got 220 items, you processed 220 items at home, you put 200 for Whatnot, 20 for eBay, you sold all 200 of those items on Whatnot, you made your $500 in net profit, but you still have 20 items that you've stored on eBay after all your cost of goods. You've already made all that money back. So everything you put on eBay from that point forward, as long as you keep that same blueprint, is essentially all free inventory, which means everything coming in on that eBay is all green. It is all profit because you've already made your money back through your Whatnot channel. Not only with that, you're building a multiple six-figure business on Whatnot, but on the back end, you're developing the framework, develop a multiple six-figure business that's basically on the back end of your main active business. So you're developing two multiple six-figure businesses doing this blueprint using only $300 to start out with. Insane. I know people might say, oh, that's so great in theory. In theory, yeah, that works, but where's the real life application? Well, I can speak of this because this was our exact real life application when we first started our Whatnot and first started to incorporate our eBay. That is exactly what we did. In a future video, I'm gonna touch on that a little bit more, but for now, we gotta get back in here for the next rotation. I hope this video gave you guys some info. I hope this kind of gets your brain going on how you guys can utilize those platforms. If you either haven't started reselling and want to start reselling, or whether you are reselling but you work both of those platforms into your business. I hope this helps somebody out there. If you have any questions at all, feel free to drop in the comment down below. I answer all the questions. Don't forget to like and subscribe as well. Keep on keeping on, turning a dollar to a dream. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace. Noggin.